A Hunter in Teyvat, Chapter 111, Fan Fiction, by Azazyel. Lumine's face was twisted into a frown as she sat across from an equal frowning Eula, with both ladies being utterly silent. He should be on his way here by now, Eula muttered with a frown, to which Lumine nodded and agreed with her, saying, "Yeah, he said he would be training with the Electro Archon for a full month, so he will be here either today or tomorrow if something held him up. As he can fly from Inazuma to Liyue in less than a quarter of a day." Eula shifted with her, brushing one of her glove-clad hands across her leather knee-high boots at the knee before she said with a bit of a pout, "Well, then, at least our journey through the Dragon's Pine Mountains were fruitful. You gained some treasures and we stopped that damned storm that has been going on for the last few years." To which Lumine gave her friend and lover a gentle smile and said softly, "Eula, we all were doing important things. Even though Jake probably won't be able to teach you secrets about using cryo-energy, I am sure he will have picked up some tricks in using great swords, as the Electro Archon is noted to being one of the strongest weapons using Archon." Lumine knew that Eula was feeling a bit put out that her main squeeze Jake was gone, as Eula, although clearly willing to swing both ways when it came to Jake folding her in half when she got too haughty, she wasn't quite that receptive to more thorough loving. So to say the least. Lumine, after being stopped up for a month, was also horny for her man, and it's not like she could rub one out in the damn Dragon's Pine Mountains. She even saw Paimon sneeze out there and her mucus shattered when it hit the damned ground with how cold it was. Lumine gave her lover a judging look as she went to take a nice long sip of her hot cinnamon and apple tea, as they were drinking it to feel the warmth in their bodies after being in the mountains for the last month. She is even more pent up than me with how irritable she has been lately. Jake is going to have fun spanking the princess out of her and making her gush into her overly affectionate side before he makes her mind melt into goo. Lumine thought before her lips twitched and she hit her own shudder at the thought of that other woman. Taller than even Eula, with those damned legs that went on forever and a chest that she could walk into accidentally. Over the years of being ageless, she had seen people like Shinha before who locked onto people who were a literal balm to their soul. And Jake was catnip to people with mangled or otherwise underdeveloped souls, with his aura enhancing and healing their souls. So she had no doubt that already Shinha was going to be joining their party. But Lumine's thoughts of future debauchery of seeing Eula and Shinha in bed together were cut off as Paimon cried out excitedly, "Paimon found the treasure, haha!" And from out of the kitchen she flew out with a basket of all things, and Lumine's eyes softened as she saw that it was a gift basket addressed to them from Ningguang and Ganyu. But seeing the gift basket, her mind stuttered as she remembered something. "Oh. Jake's birthday is literally in a week. Think we should go get him something while he is still gone?" she asked Eula and Paimon, who stilled at the reminder. With Paimon wiping her forehead after flying the basket across their Liyue house, and said, "Yeah, probably. But what should we get him? Maybe a flute or something he can learn to play." Lumine's face twitched at the thought of having to listen to someone actually going through the learning process of learning an instrument, but then Eula said with some introspection, "Maybe not a flute by a lyre or guitar would be perfect, as with my noble heritage I was taught how to competently play both those and a piano. It could be something fun to teach him." And Paimon snickered aloud and said, "Hee, Paimon wants to see you teaching him. Paimon bets that Jake will make you super mad, Eula, as he is more of a hands-on learner, haha." Eula's face turned pinched as she sniffed loudly and said with clear offense in her tone, "Flying little miscreant, are you saying that I am a bad teacher?" To which Paimon looked Eula dead in the eye and said seriously in her high-pitched voice, "Paimon thinks that one of you will end up smothering the other one with a pillow, honestly." A soft slurp rang out as Lumine huddled herself up in her thick multiple blankets while drinking her hot tea, as she idly heard Eula say, threateningly, "Then maybe you will be the one who awakens short of breath with a thick cover over your face to pay for his slight upon my person. I should start cooking, actually. A good soup stock can take a couple of days to boil down, so I should get that started properly." Lumine thought, with her mind filling with the thought of a nice hearty stew she and Jake could share, like the food they made at Noel's apartment. But the thought of Noel reminded her of Mondstadt, and she looked to Eula and said more seriously, "Eula, How about after we get back with Jake and spend a bit here in Liyue we go back to Mondstadt? I need to give Jean a peace of mind for how even we were blocked out of the city anyway. And without letting Eula react she got up and all but skipped into the kitchen to begin cooking, not allowing Eula to sputter denials or refusals with the awkwardness she obviously felt about Mondstadt.